I'm really excited for the year to come. Um, I did I did 1 million last year. I don't see why there's no reason with your system that I can't do three, at least three this year. You know, with the crews that I have and your system, there's no reason I can't do at least three, if not more. But I'm gonna try to stay realistic,
Yeah.
even though 5 million is not unrealistic, I don't think. But I'm not gonna set the goal too high, the bar too high. So I'm gonna shoot for three. But yeah, I just think this is gonna be awesome. So far so good.
That's awesome, man. That makes me really excited to hear that. What specifically about what you've experienced just in the first couple weeks makes you feel like you should be able to pretty easily get to three?
Hey, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
What's going on? You too.
Just working, man. Starting to get really busy over here with the new season
Yeah.
about to break open like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Sort of feels like here too.
How's business?
Good. I mean it's picking up definitely. Still slow a little bit, but the last 2 weeks or so, pretty much since I started with you, and a lot of good leads coming in. I feel like, and the weather's been a little warmer too than normal. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's getting ready to bust wide open and, we're gonna have an early season. So
Yeah, it seems like that. I mean, we haven't even had a flurry of snow here in Maryland.
yeah,
My
yeah,
son's like, "What the heck? You bought me a
yeah.
sled for Christmas. I can't even use it." I'm gonna have to start pulling him down the grass
Yeah.
hill. Um, that's really cool. Tell me about what you've experienced thus far with the system that I set up for you.
Um, uh, well, so far, it's just really good. The leads, they come in through a text message on my phone rather than some like, thing I have to log into,
Hmm.
like Angie's Leads or whatever.
So you like the fact that
Um,
it just comes to your phone and you don't
yeah,
have
yeah, I
to use
love
a
that.
CRM.
Yep, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Because I mean, it could be like the middle of the night, and one comes through and you wake up and there's a lead right there in a text
Yeah.
message, and it's like you don't have to log into something to look, so that's really cool. Yeah, and they're just good leads. There's been like, I think maybe there was like three that I called and there was no answer.
Mm,
But aside from that, all the rest of them, people answer the phone and they expect a call from me,
that's awesome.
and it's just, yeah, it's been good. So
Tell me about the phone calls. You call and what do you say to the homeowners
I
when they answer?
say, well, I say hello. My name is Jim Rail. I'm with Rail Construction. I received, or what do I say? No, that was my Angie Leads. Say hello. My name is Jim Rail. I'm with Rail Construction. I see that you guys recently filled out an online survey
Mm,
concerning your roof, and I'm just calling in response to that. And then we go from there.
that's great.
You know, whatever it is. So.
Yeah. And what do they usually say in response to your opening sentence?
Uh, so far, um, it's been, they're like, you know, like they've expected my call, like, oh yeah, hi.
Mhm.
There was, I want to say maybe there was like one where they weren't like expecting the call maybe or something, or I don't know
Mhm.
if they're just acting like that. Who knows? People
Mm,
are weird, but
yeah,
anyways, it was just like a good response. Like they're expecting my phone call, and it was a positive interaction, pretty much.
that's great. And then what do you tell them? You kind of do you ask them any questions over the phone to sort of further qualify them even more
Um,
than the ad does itself?
yeah, um, because for one thing, we don't do metal anymore. We used to do metal,
Uh-huh.
and I got out of metal pretty much because you have to have a specific crew for that, and I no longer have that crew. then it's just easier for us to do shingles. So anyway, I asked them if it's a metal roof or a shingle roof, about how many squares it is, and then I just get their information. Even though their information is already in the text messages, I just double check with it. I get their address, phone number.
Mhm.
When's a good time to come out, and then I set up a date to go look.
Do you ever bring up anything about insurance restoration in the phone call?
No, because I have done that in the past, and unless they bring it up, the one lead I got from you, the guy that specifically he was after some sort of insurance claim, and he made that clear. But I used to do that, and it seemed like it scared a lot of people off because they don't understand the insurance process. They think that it's going to raise their insurance premium, and they don't believe me when I tell them, oh no, it's not. They for some reason they think what they think. So anyway, I would prefer to not bring that up, and I would prefer to go to their house and
Mhm.
look, and then say, hey, look, there's a bunch of hail damage on your roof. Maybe we could file a claim, and
Mhm.
see what happens.
And then they can
So
say to you, "Oh, I don't want to do that. It could raise my premium." And you can say, "Actually, acts of
yeah,
God, blah
and
blah
then I'm
blah."
in front of their face, and they can
Mhm.
see me. They know I'm not some joker on the other end of the line. And yeah, I can say it to their face, and then I can show them the pictures of the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like there's clear hail damage, or whatever it is, or missing shingles or whatever. So, I like to do it like that. I don't really like to bring it up right off the bat like that.
Cool. So when you say to them you want to schedule a time to come out and
Yep.
what specifically do you say? You want to schedule a time to come out and meet you, or do you say I want to schedule a time to come out and I want to actually inspect your roof? Like what sort of
Well,
thing?
I try to like play like um I try to play like really friendly, and but
Mhm.
I am really friendly, and
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to like meet people and stuff, but I don't try to sound really smart, if you know what I mean. I try to sound like maybe a friend. I
Mhm.
say, well, when's a good time I could come out and, maybe have a look, or whatever, something along those lines. But I don't know, I
Yeah.
just try to not make myself sound too technical. If
Mhm.
I say like, oh, well, when, I would like to schedule a time to come out for an inspection and blah, 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 blah. It kind of sounds too technical and,
Mhm.
like, I don't know, to me it does. If
Yeah.
somebody came off to me as like more friendly and like down to earth, I'd be more willing to see what they have to offer.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I think that's so true for psychological reasons. Like when you make it sound really technical and
Mhm.
smart, it
Mhm.
sounds expensive. It
Mhm.
sounds like it's inevitably going to cost a ton of money.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
you say, let me just come out and take a look, that sounds like no big deal. I'm just going to come out and take a look. Worst, like there's a decent chance I'll take a look and everything will be okay. And you won't necessarily need a whole new roof. And maybe it's just a little repair. And I'll tell you the truth about what you need.
Yeah.
And then when you get up there and you notice the damage, then you say, listen, I took a look at your roof and look at all this hail
Yeah.
damage you
Here are the
have. And you're
pictures.
missing shingles
Yeah.
over here. And, I always like to avoid the most invasive solutions, but like
Yeah.
you could probably get a whole new roof paid for and then
Yeah.
down that rabbit hole. So that's really smart instinctually that you do that. Have you closed any jobs yet?
Yep. Yep. I closed when I completed it.
Oh,
We,
wow. You've already completed it too.
yeah, um, geez, we closed on it, last Wednesday or something, maybe Thursday, and then we completed it yesterday.
Hmm.
So
Awesome.
if we got that, and then, tomorrow I have an appointment, to go look at an insurance
Hmm.
job. It didn't start like that. Like I said, I just said, let me come out and have a look. It was this older Italian guy, and you know, um, he like had his guards up and everything. But anyway, came out, looked at it, and I wish I could show you the pictures, but the hail damage was like there was big hail. Who knows when it hit, he didn't know. He said, we get hail all the time over here. And so anyway, sometime in the last couple years, he had hail and had no idea. But you know, for all intents and purposes, it could have been in the last year. Who knows? So anyway, I took a bunch of pictures and I showed him, and he said, "Holy cow," you know, or whatever. And so I have an appointment with the insurance agent out there tomorrow, and
So you'll go there and meet
yeah, I'll go there and
when
meet
the
him.
insurance agent comes.
Yeah,
That's an important thing to do.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes that has backfired on me before meeting, well, not with the agent, but meeting with an inspector. Because you know, it just depends on the inspector, obviously, but sometimes they don't want you there. But
They think you're going to try to influence
yeah,
them.
yeah. So, but
I
anyway,
bet
it's
there's a
with the
way,
agent.
and I could be totally wrong, but I bet there's a way to set the mood with the
Yeah.
with the inspector such
Mm-hmm.
that they let their guard down and realize that you're really just trying to help the homeowner.
Yeah, well, there is, and that's to play stupid. Like I was just pretty much saying, not play stupid, but play like you want to learn.
Mm.
And so play like um, you really don't know much about it, but you would like to be there so that you can learn about it. And if you can convey that message to the inspector before getting there, it makes it a lot easier.
That's really smart as well. I mean, I would imagine that a lot of roofing contractors who are really aggressively trying to get an entire claim paid for,
Mhm.
they probably anticipate meeting the inspector and being like, all right, I'm going to show them this and this and this, and I'm going to
Yeah.
take them around the house and show them what, so they don't miss anything. And
Yep.
that is
Yep.
kind of like, it does sort of imply to the inspector that you would have missed this had I not shown it to you,
Yeah.
as though you're not an expert. But if you
Oh, yeah,
flip it so
totally.
that they're the expert coming out,
Yeah.
you're the roofing contractor who bangs the nails into the roof and puts the new roof on and whatever.
Yeah. Show me what to look
they're
for.
the doctor in that case, and you're the patient. But good patients also advocate for themselves. So you kind of take the doctor's advice, ask good questions, and then if they do miss something, well, what about this over here? Like, do you think blah blah blah? And you can probably do it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool. I'm interested to hear how that meeting goes.
Yeah. Okay.
And obviously, you wouldn't recommend to this Italian dude that he files a claim if you didn't think it was going to get fully paid for, probably,
Right.
or at least
Right.
mostly paid for.
Yep.
So you know the inspector's coming out, and they should, if they're doing their jobs properly, find the damage you found.
Oh, this one it's just undeniable. It's
Yeah.
like that. It's that bad. So yeah, that's kind of why I told the guy we should, you know, file a claim and see what happens. You know, the worst they say is no. You know.
Right. And then if they do say no, you can always rebut with, well, here are the pictures. And
Yep.
Yeah.
Here are the pictures. If they still say no, we offer financing. So,
Right.
you know, then I'll throw that at the guy and see what happens. You know, maybe for $150 a month, you can get your roof covered, you know.
Is there a chance the insurance company will say, we'll partially pay for stuff?
Yeah, there's a chance, just because of depreciation,
Mhm.
you know, if the roof hasn't been taken care of or whatever. And so there's a chance,
Okay.
you know, they depreciate it quite a bit, or they say, oh, we looked at the, you know, weather underground or whatever they use, and there wasn't any hail here in the last year. But in Pennsylvania, every year there's a couple hailstorms, you know. So
Right. Cool. So that's another job that you'll very likely close on and get paid on.
get something, yeah.
The first job that you already closed and completed, what profit did you make on that particular job?
I didn't even do that yet. I'm still waiting to get one receipt back from the waste company.
Mhm.
I guess I could have mostly done it because it's a few $100s, but
Yeah.
it's
If you had to ballpark
I
it.
probably made $5,000 on it.
That's great. So that you're already profiting
Yeah.
within the first 17 days of us turning less 15 days of us turning your
Yep.
campaign on.
Yeah.
That's great. Do you anticipate closing a good handful of additional jobs from this month so far?
I don't know. I haven't had that many leads. I could go back and count, I guess, but
Yeah,
I had,
on the spreadsheet, it looks like you've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 15 leads in about 15 days.
okay. Yeah, so yeah, I guess that's pretty good. It's more than I thought. Um, I don't know how many. I'll close out of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's one other lady. I'm waiting. I have to. I was supposed to get the Eagle View, and then they couldn't get the Eagle View because of some trees. So anyway, I got to go back there. I got to measure the roof myself and all that.
Mhm.
So there's that one, which I think is going to be pretty good. But I'm trying to remember what the deal was with like the rest of them. Some of the leads. One of them was a mobile home I saw in the details, and I I don't even want to screw with that. I've gone down that road before, and
Yeah.
it ends up being a nightmare. So
What do you do? Do you contact that person and let them know that, you got their info, but
I
you're not
I
sure?
called, yeah, I called, left a message, and I'm waiting for a call back.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I mean, so if you don't want to do mobile home roofs, so by default, what we do is whenever a mobile home lead comes in, unless you do those roofs and you like doing them, I have a few clients that actually specialize in mobile home roof
Mhm.
replacements. They have a whole system in it. They make a lot of money on it. But if you don't want, if you consider those not qualified leads for your sake, what we do is we disqualify them when they choose that. And then we teach Facebook to do its best not to show your ads to people who might be in a mobile home, so that
Okay.
you get less and less of those leads over time. You've only gotten one out of all of the leads so
Yeah.
far has been a mobile
Yeah.
home. But what I would recommend doing, and this is going to sound a little bit, tree huggy, but I would call the mobile home leads when and if you get them, and I would introduce yourself and say what company you own, and let them know that you personally don't specialize in mobile home roofs, but you know of a contractor or two that does. And then I would maybe just Google a little bit and call a few contractors around you and just make a nice little relationship with them and be like, listen, if you like doing mobile home roofs, or even a handyman, some handymen like doing that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
do that, because it's just a nice thing to do. And when you tell the mobile home guy that you're going to send them someone who's really great at helping those, at working on those sorts of homes, it's just good energy.
Yeah, you're right.
And they have lots of friends who aren't in mobile homes, and they have family who aren't in mobile homes who might need roofing services. So you can kind of plant that seed as well. You can tell them, text me if you ever know of anyone that needs help with their shingle roof on their home, or if there are other mobile homes that need roofs, you can text me and I'll grab my buddy who specializes in that. But then also your friend who you make that connection with, your handyman friend who does those roofs, he might have homes he does work in, handyman work, big 50 square roofs that need a roofer. So that's it. It goes both ways. He might say, this guy, Jim Rail, he's the shit. And I'm going to send him over to inspect your roof.
Yeah.
So I would definitely do that. Make the most of these leads by just being a good guy, and it'll all come back to you in spades. So that's really cool. So just to recap, you've closed one so far. You've got an inspection tomorrow. You've got others that you're kind of working still, I guess, from the leads.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to go back and look, just to maybe work out why, because there was some of them, East Stroudsburg. Yeah, there was quite a few that just didn't answer. I called, left a message, and sent an email. I guess I could have texted too.
Yeah, I was going to
Um,
say, you got to text them. I would text them like
yeah.
right after this call. I would just shoot out a bunch of texts.
Okay. All right.
In terms of what to say on the text,
Yeah.
short and sweet, like, hey, this is Jim Rail with Rail Construction.
Mhm.
I saw that you inquired about, I saw that you reached out about your roof. I would love, when is a good time to jump on a quick phone call?
Yeah.
So that open-ended question, when is a good time? Because then they have to answer with like something specific. If they don't answer that text message in 24 hours, I would open up your phone tomorrow and be like, all right, these 3 people didn't answer that text message. Send something like, hey, Jim here again. Don't mean to be a pest, but I want to know if I should keep trying to contact you or not. If I don't hear from you, I'll take you out of my system. Otherwise, just let me know when we can talk, and kind of like put the ball in their court.
Yeah.
And what you're kind of doing there is you're saying, because some people, what they do is they send these forms in. They know they need to get their roof looked at. They know they need to get a replacement probably, but they don't feel like dropping $20,000 right now. It's a little scary, people. So what they do is they say, all right, I'm going to send this in. I know that the company is going to try to keep contacting me. That'll be like my automatic reminder to get this done. I'll probably end up answering their call a month later. But if you tell them that you're going to stop contacting them, they're not going to get these automatic, they're not going to get these frequent reminders that they need to get their roof done from you. Then they'll say, yeah, I do want you to contact me, but I'm not ready to talk about this right this minute. And then you can say, no worries, like no rush. Like I'm here. This is my company for the rest. This is my life's work.
Yeah.
I'll be here a week from now, a month from now, a year from now. So I'll check in with you. When's a good time to check in with you again? And then now you've got that conversation started, but you've also kind of laid the groundwork that you're like a normal guy who understands and doesn't pressure people. And that's a really good way to be. So definitely text message.
That makes sense.
What else? What else about
the leads?
Anything.
Other than that, I'm so far I'm like really pleased. I'm really excited for the year to come. I did $1 million last year. I don't see why there's no reason with your system that I can't do at least three this year. With the crews that I have in your system, there's no reason I can't do at least three, if not more. But I'm gonna try to stay realistic.
Yeah.
Even though 5 million is not unrealistic, I don't think. But I'm not gonna set the goal too high, the bar too high. So I'm gonna shoot for 3. But I just think this is gonna be awesome. So far so good.
That's awesome, man. That makes me really excited to hear that. What specifically about what you've experienced just in the first couple of weeks makes you feel like you should be able to pretty easily get to 3?
Well, I think about last year and where I was last year and when things started really taking off and all that. And this year so far, we're just getting into the new year a few days in. Last year, a few days into the new year, it was really, really slow. I also had a different crew. I had a different crew and we were moving a lot slower. My leads were Angie leads. So most of them are really, really shitty.
Yeah.
I'm paid a lot of money for a bunch of crappy leads. I don't know. It's just kicking off a lot sooner this year. And then the crews that I have a couple crews. And it's just going to be awesome.
That's great. Well, the cool thing is, as soon as you start getting into the rhythm and the year starts really opening up, we can, at the drop of a hat,
ramp
it up, increase the ad spend, adjust the campaigns to reflect that increased ad spend. So increase the ad variation and work in fresh content. All the while, you just completed a roof. Did you happen to get pictures of the house before you did it and after?
No, I didn't take befores. I got to start doing that. I'm just so used to taking afters and durings. Like I take videos of like the tear off and everything. But I got to get a before.
Did you get up on the roof and take pictures?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like beforehand.
During tear off.
Okay. Not during like an inspection or anything.
No.
Okay. So what you ought to do is when you arrive at the person's house, the first thing you should do before knocking on the door is take a picture of the house.
Yeah.
From
Yeah, I gotta
the same
remember to do
spot,
that.
like get the whole house in there, just like this. And then remember what spot you're standing in and get in that same spot right when the roof is done and everything's cleaned up. But what I was going to say is, you'll continue to close more deals and complete more roofs, and you'll build up this library of content. And then using our project management software Basecamp, you'll be able to easily share those stories with me and share that content with me. And I'll be able to use that when we do need to freshen up your ads and when we do need to scale it, because we're going to want more ad variations. So that's going to be really cool. And what's really cool is we'll be able to actually say, look at this photo. We just completed this roof like this month. It's probably in your, near your neighborhood. We can write an ad that really calls that out, gets people excited about people getting their roofs done right nearby. So that's awesome. Yeah, right now you're getting leads for like, let me do the math. Let's say you got, I said 1, 2, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 15. Let's see. I can't do the math in my head. Yeah, I mean, you're right now you're getting leads at exactly like $50 a lead.
Yeah.
And that's in January. So that's good. That's solid, especially for the first month.
I'm extremely pleased with it so far, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's I could, especially for being like the first week or two into January. I mean, I can't really ask for much more, so.
That's awesome.
And
Yeah, I mean, listen,
in Pennsylvania, in Northeast Pennsylvania at that, so.
Yeah, in the dead of winter. Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with it too. I recommended to you and all my clients that I bring on that they start with at least a $50 per day ad spend, and I recommend it because usually my goal is that worst case scenario, the leads come in at most $50. So right now, while I still think this is a huge success, especially for the first couple of weeks, ideally, I'd like to see the lead cost come down to $40, $35, even $25 as the season opens up, as my system teaches Facebook who to spend your money on and who not to spend your money on. So not only will you be scaling this by increasing your ad spend, but it's going to kind of scale itself as the lead cost comes down. I mean, if you're spending $50 a day and now you're getting twice as many leads, which I anticipate happening, that's going to be like insane.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
When do you think is a good time to do that? To like go up to the next, go up to the next level. What's 75 the next one?
I mean, it could be 55. I mean, you could up it $5 a day, and you can really up it $1 at a time. It's that no point in doing that. I would go to 75 or $100 a day. And then we would turn off this campaign, relaunch a new one, add in fresh content, change the ad spend, and then monitor it over the short term, obviously, to see if it's being distributed efficiently and we're not noticing any diminishing returns. And we'll monitor the leads coming in, and we'll see, what can happen on Facebook and Instagram with their ads platforms is that sometimes you can increase your ad spend and you can see leads coming in at a higher amount, they're more expensive, and it doesn't make sense. It's like, why wouldn't they just come in at double the rate of coming in, right? So like if you're spending $100 a day, now you're getting 3 leads a day. But sometimes it can just increase the lead cost, and there are reasons that happens that we can diagnose and then solve for. It's not often that happens, but that's why it's important for us to monitor, especially once we launch like that. So we can do that whenever you want. I would recommend letting things run a little bit longer the way they are, and then maybe next week, this time we can relaunch. Yeah.
All right.
And then hopefully by then you'll have closed a few more deals too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I had one quick question. So like I have I probably have a portion of my ad spending going toward to like my hometown area. Is that the
Mhm.
case or no?
I'll tell you exactly.
Because my hometown area would be like Tunkhannock, pretty much. It's like it's spread out, but it's a smaller town, but it's spread real wide. And I feel like everybody, if anybody were to think of getting a roofer around here, they would already think of me.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe it would be wiser to maybe take the ad spending not in Tunkhannock, but spend it somewhere else because everybody in Tunkhannock already knows they're going to call me, you know, or does
Yeah.
that not make
So,
sense?
well, no, I understand what you're saying. So we are advertising so that the center point of your radius is Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, with a 45-mile radius around it. And then
Okay.
we're also making sure that we are in all of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Now, what that means is it means that yes, your ads may very well show up in what is considered Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, but they're also going to show up within a 45-mile radius of that as well.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Facebook wants to get you leads, right? So it automatically is saying to itself constantly, we need to distribute his ads to people who we think are going to fill out the questionnaire and send their information in for a new roof. So if they try to advertise like right in your neighborhood where people already know you,
Mhm.
and people click those and fill it out and become leads, well, that's great. I mean, it's still a lead and it's business, and maybe they would have known of you otherwise, but maybe they wouldn't because you definitely don't have 100%,
Yeah.
rate of people knowing who you are, unless, I mean, maybe you are a local celebrity, but there's probably a lot of people who are seeing it and being like, oh, this looks like a cool company. But if everyone in that area doesn't click your ads because they already know who you are and they intend on calling you next week anyway, they're just going to Google you, then Facebook will say to itself, you know what, we're trying to advertise Jim's company in Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania, and no one's clicking it. No one's looking at it like for any length of time. Let's just stop advertising. Let's stop spending his money there and do it more on the outskirts of the radius or somewhere else.
I got it.
So
Yep. Makes sense.
sometimes halfway through talking, I'm like, I'm talking too much. This guy is
Oh, no, you're,
the F
no,
up.
you're good. You're good, man.
I do that all the time. I when I was a kid, my mom took me to a tutor to like teach me how to have better reading comprehension because they thought I had ADD and all this other stuff. I was overdiagnosed, like one of those overly diagnosed kids.
Yeah, I had you on
And
Adderall and all that.
I was on Adderall and Vyvanse and you name it. And then I was self-medicating with weed and cigarettes and alcohol through my 20s. So that was fun. But anyway, when I was a kid, I was like, must have been like 13, 14 years old. I'm sitting across from this tutor who's like in his 80s. And I think it's something about my voice, but he asked me to read a page from a book and I read it. And about 6 sentences in, he was sound asleep. Like just passed the F out. And my mom came to pick me up and she walked into the office and he was asleep and I was like reading and she was like, what's going on here? But I feel like that's just been like the story of my life ever since. I just put people to sleep while I'm talking. So anyway, I apologize if I'm doing that. So that's awesome, dude. Yeah. So are you cool if we leave your targeting the way it is then?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. For the location, that's how we'll have it for now. If you start getting leads in a particular area and the results are just not, they're the kinds of people that you're just not going to end up selling to, and you want to exclude that area somehow, we'll figure out how best to tell Facebook that area is not an area you want, whether it's a zip code or a little 1 mile radius around a center point, because that'll get all the neighborhoods that you don't love or whatever. We can do that. But otherwise, I say we leave it how it is for now.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. What's going on internally in the office? Are you Do
Well,
you
I just
have
moved it.
an administrative assistant or someone to schedule stuff or whatever?
No, not yet. I just literally moved into like this new office, like 2 weeks ago or a
Mhm.
week ago or something. So anyways, I don't know if you can see it. This is all going to
Yeah.
be Erie Materials is going to come in with like Owens Corning displays. I'm waiting for the displays to come in, but they're going to set up displays all around here, which is going to be cool. I'm waiting for my sign for the roof. I'm getting a big sign on the roof, and I have a couple offices back here. So I
Mhm.
am going to hire like somebody to come in here and sit and like do the paperwork and tabulate everything for me and all that. That way I can be out selling.
Yeah.
Um, I would like to try to find a good salesperson so that myself and that whoever that is, we can be out just selling.
Hmm.
So anyway, I have plans, but we're
It's
getting
exciting.
there.
Getting the
Yeah.
Owens Corning displays up is going to be cool too, because
Yeah.
I can kind of coach you on how to make some video content from there as well. I mean, I
Okay.
imagine you
Cool.
standing in front of an Owens Corning display, just telling the camera what it is we're looking at and what the materials are made of and why they're made of them and different color shingle options. And that's all stuff you can use in your marketing with me. And I can kind of coach you through how to create that content really easily.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
What else? Should we wrap it up?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
You probably have a busy day.
Yeah, I've got to go do a few things, but anyway, yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, great to see you and talk to you. You know how to reach me through Basecamp if you need me and my assistant and anything. But in the meantime, have a great day.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Thanks for trusting me. And hey,
Absolutely.
can I use this recording we just did for my
Yeah.
website?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
All right,
Appreciate it.
brother. Take it easy.
Thanks, dude. You too. Bye.
Bye.